the Japanese text strat, which is always terrible, unfortunately. So he's probably at a disadvantage from the very start here.
Someone who clearly looks up to you.
I have never thought of it that way, but I'm sorry, David. Anyway, yo, we're going. We're flying.
That's what Plague Knight does. So yeah, if this is your first time watching Plague Knight or the Shovel Knight game in general, this is Plague Knight and he moves really, really fast because he can burst. That's his charged attack. His regular attack is throwing bombs. He also has a double jump. So Plague Knight can basically fly across the screen and carry that momentum. You may have seen Muncha actually having a little bit of trouble here. One of the properties of Plague Knight is that he actually gets knocked back much further than the other knights do. So taking hits with Plague Knight can be pretty troublesome, but when done purposefully, it moves you pretty fast and allows you to skip a lot of hazards.
David having a little bit of issue with the slime there. Slimes move randomly in general, actually.
That was a very special dirt mountain on Munch's
Yeah, I think Muncha thought that he was playing Shovel Knight there. I'm not quite sure that that's what he wanted to do.
David just did the bubble wrap. It's a zip that if you touch okay, whatever. It's a wrap. If you touch the screen transition while above the two rooms, you get basically spat out into the room to the top right.
You see David here trying to lock down Black Knight in the corner with a burst it up at the very start. Muncha's doing it right now. And then you just throw timed bombs in the corner until he dies. And if you mistime your bombs while he's in the corner, he can jump out sometimes, which you saw happen to David.
The first match with Black Knight, not that bad. You do have like a generous amount of leeway to keep the lock going. The second time around, not so much. The third time around, not at all. So these runners, Muncha is, I guess, sort of at a disadvantage. His PB is, I think, a 43 flat, while David's is a low 41. But that's it. Muncha actually works at Yacht Club Games and has been playtesting all the characters repeatedly, nonstop, for his day job. So I wouldn't be surprised if Muncha still put in a good match here for David.
Yeah, I mean this category in particular can go. And you can go sideways pretty fast because there are actually a couple of stages where you do skip some checkpoints, and money can become a problem if you die too much. So you can see some hard swings in these races sometimes.
The first couple stages are a little difficult, even though they're the beginning stages of the game. We're not really doing a lot of intended stuff as far as movement goes, because Plague can get pretty creative. One thing that is pretty annoying for the runners in the first stages is that the ceilings are pretty low, so managing their burst jump movement can get tricky in those tight corridors. David's coming up on the long book room, one of the final rooms in this stage, and I'm pretty sure he still goes for the damage boost. Yeah, some runners burst through the lava because Plague Knight's burst actually has invincibility frames. Just a couple of invincibility frames, but that can be useful in a number of situations.
I'm gonna see David here try to lure King Knight into the corner so that
Nice.
he can throw bombs at him. And he got most of the hits in there. He gets a good ground slime as well. And yeah, that's a pretty decent fight. Yeah. Fortunately, Muncha got hit there.
Yeah, you can As you saw on David's side, you can kill him before he starts the dash attack, but it's not too uncommon to see King Knight get a dash in. So the runner is coming up to the last stage in World 1. Each section of the game is kind of split off into set worlds, and you know that because once you clear the world, you gain a health upgrade afterwards.
Yep. Mandatory health upgrade, whether you want it or not.
I can't wait till there's a new trick that skips it so low percent can be even dumber.
Oh no. Not like this. Please no.
So they're currently in Lich Yard, which has a number of signature hazards. Dark rooms, frogs, these skeleton-based platformers, or platforms. Skeleton-based platform! That's Spectre. This room that David's in is particularly awful, because you have to hit the skull over to weigh down the other platform, and yeah, the frogs can be jerks.
Yeah, the frog's movements are pretty... They're not entirely random, but they might as well be, so... Very difficult to to play around when you have to carry the skull across the screen. Muncha actually doing pretty okay there, actually.
Coming up on the last dark room. I don't think David grabbed the checkpoint, and as we saw from Oddbod last time, that can be a pretty bad mistake. Why did he turn back around?
Yeah, that was a bit weird. I thought he turned around because he didn't think he was gonna make the platform, maybe?
So, go ahead.
Yeah, so his, Spectre Knight's second teleport is random. He can either spawn to the left or right. He's gonna have to... Yep, he got a left one, so that's the good pattern there. As you can see, he was able to get a lot more hits in since he spawned towards the left. Let's see what Muncha gets here.
Muncha missed a hit, but he got an extra hit with a burst, which was actually pretty cool. Slightly slower? Yeah, he got bad RNG as well.
Yeah.
Interesting kill, though. That could have been way better.
Yeah. It can get a bit tricky if he makes the room dark, because then it becomes a little bit more to tell like where he's gonna be. But also, yeah, like a lot of people have like a lot of slight variations on like how they do this fight.
So yeah, Muncha's... Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of the like faster, like quick kills for that boss are incredibly difficult to pull off. But anyway, David's on Explodatorium now. What David is going to want to do here is that he's going to want to be hitting several cycles here, especially in this next room. So there's these pots that blow their lid up depending on like how much time has elapsed since entering the stage, and it looks like that's pretty okay there. Not too bad.
I'm keeping an eye on Muncha now to see how he's doing. Muncha's actually not taking any extra hits here, so he's looking good so far. This stage has a lot of pretty painful hazards. Most of them do a full heart of damage. The ones that basically are unavoidable.
So our players here are gonna want to be entering the end of the, or rather, they're gonna have to want to enter the last boss room with two health or less, so that they can actually quick kill the boss in this stage. But you actually do have quite a few options here for like adjusting your health. Like you can collect the carrot, I believe, like near the beginning of the stage, or you can collect the apple like right after the Alchemeister, depending on how your health is looking. Which is, I believe, what David did. He picked up the apple.
Oh, he needed to take a full heart of damage from the shovel drop. He unfortunately he got missed, so you have to waste a little more time taking damage. It cannot be understated how important it is, because this fight is really garbage without that.
Yeah. The reason you want to have this low health is that Shovel Knight uses his Phase Locket, which makes him invincible if you are at higher than 2 health.
Yeah, the lock itself is not that difficult. It's a little random, kind of based on like where Shovel Knight drops, and then that kind of sets up all kinds of weird shenanigans.
I believe they got both of them got good spawns, and it looks like Muncha is gonna actually get the Ichor skip, which actually saves like 5 seconds, which is really nice. So whenever Shovel Knight is about to lose more than 3 health, if he's using a horn before he loses more than 3 health, he will skip over his healing animation, which saves quite a bit of time.
Yeah, it would heal Shovel Knight back up, and he's invincible throughout the animation. So David went to Iron Whale. I expect David to be taking the optimal route by now. I don't see him going to...
Oh no! David, what are you doing? You're killing me. But yeah, really, I think the only reason you would do this stage before, wait a minute, what?
Why you would do Lost City? Probably because you're afraid of dying.
Yeah, just to reduce resets. Also, maybe. Because Lost City is a arguably harder stage than Iron Whale, but Iron Whale is still pretty difficult.
Oh no!
Oh no, dude.
I don't think he landed. So you gotta touch the ground at least at some point to refresh your double jump. Oh wow, that puts him right behind Muncha actually.
Oh, did he not?
He didn't make it to the jump. It's right there.
Yeah. Oh, Muncha did like a really weird burst pattern there.
Oh man, Muncha, please!
Okay.
They're really, really close now.
Yeah, that room can be really tricky because you have a pretty small like window to actually hit that third tentacle. Like, you have to be in a specific spot to actually hit him.
They're fighting everyone's favorite 420 fish.
So the way he moves around when he actually makes himself vulnerable is kind of random. So depending on how he moves, you can either kill him before he dashes across the screen or not.
I think David fought him on the left. No, David fought him in front too. Some runners fight him from the left because it makes the fish projectiles that 420 spits out less likely to hit you.
Yeah, but if you fight him on the left, I find that it's a lot more difficult to get some good angles in which to throw bombs at him.
That's where he likes to move a lot more when you're on the left, that's for sure. David's a little low on health, but that's not really an issue for Treasure Knight. Treasure Knight basically can't hit you, and so long as you have over a full heart, it's not a big threat. Oh, and he's picking up the tonic, and so is Muncha. That's definitely more for the tonic than it is for the health.
Yeah, picking up the health refill there and the tonic wastes very little time. Yeah, this boss can be a little bit annoying. Oh, David actually did really well.
David would have survived. He did take a full heart throughout the fight, but he would have survived if he didn't heal. But the tonic is useful because you can just go into your menu and drink it, and it'll temporarily increase your max health. and restore a full heart. That's more important later on during boss rush when you'd rather be avoiding food because it's we'll get into that later, but you have to fight Shovel Knight again.
It's not like a mandatory like route thing to get health tonics, but it is it's a nice safety cushion, I would say.
So now they're in the Lost City, and as we said before, this stage a little more lethal. And that's mostly because of, I would say, Beetle 1. I see David taking his time, which I don't blame him for. That's same with Muncha. It can be really easy to get hit by those fire droplets.
Yeah, not only is there a lot of lava pits like everywhere that kill you instantly, but there's a lot of spots where if you fall into, you just won't be able to get your money back, which is kind of a problem because you do need some amount of money to actually make this route work and buy the items you need.
Although Plague Knight has a ton of different bomb types, to unlock those, you have to be collecting the green coins that you see throughout the stage. Ideally, you'd be getting like well over 100 to actually get the bombs that are useful. So that's not going to happen in this run. But they will be purchasing a weapon later on. And the reason why they haven't been doing so up until this point, because there are some kind of useful ones even before now, it's because they're actually obscenely expensive. Their first purchase is going to be 9,500 gold, I think.
9,000 gold.
I always forget that.
Anyway, David is fighting Mole Knight here. He's gonna have to, 2 bombs every time he dives is the standard. It's what you want. And yeah, that was a pretty good kill. Yeah, usually when he glides across the screen here, all you have to do is go above him and chuck some bombs.
Is Muncha
Oh no! Oh no!
Come on, Muncha.
Please, Muncha,
no!
That's a pretty bad time loss from Muncha.
He should be able to get the kill though.
Yeah, once he does that, I don't even know what to call that attack. That flame enrage attack or whatever. He actually becomes invincible, and you can't hit him. Actually, I'm not sure if, cause like he actually throws around some glowing flames, and I'm not sure if you can reflect those as Plague Knight. I don't think I've actually ever tried.
Shovel Knight can. I don't know if any of Plague Knight's relics could, but I know his bombs can't. That'd be neat if you could burst them back, though.
Yeah.
So bosses all have, I guess, desperation moves. That's kind of what I would call that. But right now, David is in the flying machine, and this stage, kind of one of the bigger, like, scarier stages in the run. There's a lot of fun ways to die in this stage. And everyone's favorite, one of the few random enemies in the game, Jawas.
Oh man, he actually did get a pretty good pattern there. He just, I think he misreacted a little bit. He fell off the platform.
The dinghy dropper mini boss. I think it's like 15 hits they take or something like that. He's the good kill though.
I think it's 16. I don't know. I never actually counted.
Using a little bit of the wind there in this side area where he's going to be purchasing the Staff of Striking. It costs so much money because Plague Knight is normally expected to go and find Shovel Knight's relic, so the propeller dagger would be in this stage, but the room that it's in is not only incredibly lethal, but it would cost a ton of time to go and get it. David!
Oh, no. David.
No, he probably respawned the Jawa too.
David,
Please.
please just go. There you go. But yeah, on the subject of relics, if you're able to collect a relic within the stage, you can just trade that relic to Chester, which costs you no gold to get the sub weapon.
Thankfully, there hasn't been a single time in the run where anyone in the tourney had to do that.
Wait, I just realized this. Is this literally the first match in, like, literal Shovel Knight history where you have both players not using a color code? Because, like, usually everyone has their little freaking color codes, like, look at me, guys, I am different. But these guys are like, nah,
Don't
dude,
you
I
hate
don't care.
on my pink lemonade?
Hey, look, man, I'm just saying the truth. I'm speaking it.
Meanwhile, David not dying in the wind tunnel rooms, which that first one's extremely scary. It's kind of guaranteed, but it's still like really scary how close you get. Ooh,
Oh, God.
Alright, I want to see what kill David goes for. The old one? Okay.
Yeah. I think he missed a hit somewhere in there. Oh,
that's
got hit
definitely
there.
bad.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He's gonna have to wait a little bit until he lands again.
That was good finish. I want to see. Munch is probably going to do, the old one as well. No one doing your new hotness.
Yeah, it's funny. The new strat that I came up with is actually a lot easier, and it's faster. But everyone, I guess, is used to like the old stuff, even though it's like way harder.
I like your new kill. I only mess it up like once every 30 or 40 attempts. It's actually really, really consistent.
Mm-hmm. And now for David to face down the black dude for the second time. So this time, he actually has twice the amount of health, and he has a lot more options whenever he exits his iframes. He can dodge instantly and become invincible. And
Yep.
he has a bunch of projectiles attack, which are very fun. Yeah, there it is.
I feel like it's a forced dodge when he has like 5.5 or like 4 full hearts left. He like basically always gets out.
Munch are doing pretty good on the lock in the corner.
Oh, Munch, please!
Oh my God! What?
The standoff.
This boss is such garbage. Jesus Christ, man. He he literally never does. Like, he literally just sat there for a second and just like completely mind gamed him. He just shoveled him. Unreal. I just watched some like. That was like some fighting game tier like mind game. You just like.
That was Yomi level 5,000 right there.
Oh my God! What a guy.
So David in Stranded Ship, he did not choose to upgrade his magic before the ship. Munch actually had enough money for quite a lot of that. Did he go and like get side money or something?
I
He even got the tonics.
don't know.
Oh,
Actually.
and he's going to Clockwork Tower too.
Oh wait, what is happening? I guess. Huh? I don't know.
So you can do either stage in any order, but you gotta have the magic for Clockwork Tower, because when you fight Tinker, you really need that extra mana. Speaking of, you get 2 staff swings per bar of mana, and then whenever you have not enough mana for a staff swing, or anytime you want to use a relic, your bar is orange, and that indicates that when you do it again, you'll exhaust yourself, and you won't be able to use any mana until it fully recharges.
Yep.
The staff is a really awesome weapon. It's a melee weapon, and you may think, why is that so useful for Plague? But getting to swing really fast attacks. Oh, David actually he was able to sneak by the Drake there. That's actually really, really precise.
That's a hot new one. I like that.
This room, please be a little careful, thank you.
That was a little bit sloppy, but he made it through without taking damage.
He did not grab the tonic, so he might also buy the tonics from Percy.
Some pretty good damage there from David. Oh, nice.
Good kill.
Yeah. Whenever you're able to kill Polar Knight without him throwing his, like shoveling his like second set of snowballs, that's a pretty good sign. Shovel, MunchaKoopas, reaching the end of the second auto scroller here. So yeah, I guess I'm not quite sure why Muncha had so much money. Usually whenever you get past Black Knight 2, you're not supposed to have enough money to upgrade your magic. But I guess he did. He must have gotten some extra magic from somewhere. Or extra gold, rather.
Not using the staff on Tinker. That's fine. You don't lose a whole lot of time from not doing that. But the staff on the second round is definitely kind of needed.
Yeah. It's definitely one of the bosses that you want to have magic.
You can swing it basically 10 times-ish before you run out of mana. It really lets you get up there in Powerhouse through Tinker Space.
Mm-hmm.
So David is trying to catch up here. I guess it's kind of hard to tell how they are because David has to go through an auto-scroller and fight the two bosses, and Muncha now going into Stranded Ship. That stage is much faster, but it is a kind of a scarier stage. Yeah, I would actually say that Stranded Ship is way more terrifying than Clockwork Tower.
Yeah. The Clockwork Tower might have, like, you know, this screen looks kind of hard or whatever on David's screen, but it's actually not that big a deal. Stranded Ship is actually way more difficult.
Your health actually becomes kind of an issue because the enemies not only deal a bunch of damage, but there's a lot of damage boost in the stage as it is.
Yep.
I really like the room that Munch is in right now because there's a couple of clever ways to get through it.
Yeah, this room is a nightmare to figure out how to do, like, the best way.
Can you just does New Game Plus like Fleet Flask through that?
Yeah, and it's really jank to go through.
So even with like the best relic for the job, it's still weird.
Actually, actually, if I remember correctly, you flask in there and then use the big boom, and it's actually pretty smooth. No, if I remember.
Oh no,
correctly.
Muncha, please take your time. Okay, he tried to damage boost off the Drake there to get through the Hammer Bros room faster. Because if you get hit by the Hammer Bros, you won't actually be able to recover in time. Most. I didn't even see him land.
Yeah, I didn't see him land either. I was like, he's screwed, but I guess he landed at some point. Just killing the Drake.
David's definitely
mercy.
ahead. Muncha still has to get through the last room and then defeat Polar Knight. But Muncha does have more mana for Polar Knight.
Yeah, you can speed up the kill on Polar Knight a little bit with more magic, but it's not anything too substantial, I believe.
No, it would only save him a second at most, really.
Yeah, normally you would you do like Polar Knight before upgrading magic, and it's not really that big of a deal with time loss.
This race is still looking pretty close. Muncha hasn't died, but David is definitely going for some ballsy strats.
The hot, spicy strategies.
It's all about going fast. So now David has access to the final world, 3 tower stages, and they're all kind of vicious in their own ways. I think Tower 1 is not that bad, but it's certainly got its problem spots.
Yeah, there are some rooms in this stage that are really jank to actually do well. Like the screen that David's on right now isn't a huge deal until you get to. It's kind of weird because you have to go through this like really small enclosed space through these like 2 green knights that can jump all over the place and block you.
The one cycle here is not too bad.
Yeah. And then after this room, you have to deal with these chandeliers, which are on a global cycle, which can mess you up sometimes.
Ooh.
Oh, that was weird.
A couple hits there.
Yep.
You definitely want a damage boost before that.
Yeah, that was a really weird room from David. Oh, okay. Huh, that's interesting. I've actually never really seen someone do that kind of damage boost there.
Muncha manages to get through the Green Knights pretty quickly. He actually had a much better escape through that room. And he damage boosted the wrong way, but he also had less trouble on the Slime Samurai room.
Yeah, doing a lot better on that chandelier room that David did. Oh, he's taking the top route. Okay. Going
Top route's a little bit slower, but it's also safer.
Yeah. David fighting Black Knight. What you want to do on the first phase here is absolutely avoid his magic missile attack if you can. And
he actually did. Yeah, he got him to grow wings immediately.
Yep.
At the beginning of the fight, it's the standard Black Knight, and you can only deal damage to him so many times. But once he grows wings, he's basically damageable all the time. Oh no! Oh wait,
this
wait,
is
no.
the attack.
Muncha told me he does this on purpose because he just doesn't want to deal with like chasing Black Knight down.
I guess that's one way to go about it, but it's not fantastic.
That was a pretty. He did finish the fight a lot quicker.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah.
Apart from the missile attack, but like, yeah, he did manage to get a lot of staff swings.
Yeah, his positioning in the end was actually pretty good, I will say.
So David in Tower 2, the Ascent. This stage is actually pretty difficult. Everyone's favorite room, the Mario Maker room. There's a bajillion slimes and fire droplets everywhere. So if you don't go through the room like that, you can get stuck in there for forever. Probably die.
Also, it's called the Mario Maker room because it just looks like someone just barfed a bunch of enemies and obstacles in like a weird random configuration, seemingly. Alright, so I'm kind of curious to see how much health David wants to lose here. So both of our players here after the auto-scroller are going to be entering the boss rush, and at the end of the boss rush you have to fight Shovel Knight again, which means you have to have 2 or less health when fighting him. So some players decide to go in with like as little as like 3 health.
That's if you're flat.
Yeah, that's if you're like a literal goddamn man. But it looks like David's gonna be, yeah, he's gonna be entering with 2 health worth of damage, which is pretty safe. And we're gonna have to, I guess we're seeing Muncha here enter with 4, which is, I would say, the standard for.
That's a little scary for me. I would think that Muncha might grab the turkey at the top of the stairs, especially if he gets hit during the auto-scroller.
Yeah. I think in most
Yo, David with the valid run.
Oh no, not this meme.
69 green coins.
Oh my god, 69! That's the sex number, you guys! Unbelievable. What these people will do for memes is just unreal.
Well, I will say that David is actually looking pretty good so far. He took a couple hits from Mole Knight, and this race is honestly still kind of close, because you could lose an obscene amount of time on boss rush from accidentally getting knocked into Turkey. You get Turkey every time you kill a boss. Propeller is actually a huge offender of that. Oh man!
Nice.
That means he's getting Polar next, David, and then Munch is fighting Polar first.
Was
Polar
very
has
nice.
to be one of the first three. And Munch is now dealing with Mole Knight.
David got kind of a bad reaction from Polar Knight here. There, he got him to dash across the screen when he didn't want to.
Okay, Muncha did get revenge on Mole Knight, almost buried underground there. Ooh, that's a bad spot for David to be fighting King Knight. That's not a bad way to deal with it, though. Like, I don't like starting the King Knight fight on the right side of the room.
I think the right side's actually... Oh yeah, the right side's actually kind of bad. You want to start or fight King Knight when you're on the left. Most of the time, I believe.
Right next to Treasure is
Oh
actually
my
really
goodness,
awesome.
that's a really good for David for this boss. Really nice
How low on
kill.
health?
Yeah, luckily David has 5 tonics, so he has tons and tons of safety measures. If he so chooses to take them.
Muncha got a turkey at some point. He's at full health. I don't think he's gonna... Yeah, he looks like he's just given up on the Shovel Knight
Yeah.
health manipulation.
You can still get a decent kill on Shovel Knight with full health, but it's... You're gonna be losing at least 10 seconds. At least.
Muncha trying to get the Spectre juggle. Because Staff is striking hits so much, it actually kind of prevents him from getting past you. David was a little too greedy there. Okay, David's now fighting on Shovel Knight.
So yeah, you're gonna be trying to... Oh no, he missed it. He burst too early.
Oh man!
And he's just... Oh no, dude. I think he just gave up on avoiding the turkey there. Like, oh my god, this boss is the best. He just literally just jolted across the screen, making it like as hard as possible for David to actually lock him in the corner again.
Well, at least he did get the kill pretty quickly. He only got one phase lock, I think. Every time he does the phase lock, it costs 4 seconds. And then Shovel Knight can just straight up deflect your bombs. He can use all kinds of relics, which makes it a little more annoying than anything.
Cool.
That's 2 phase lockets for Muncha.
You can't really do much if Shovel Knight is jumping around pogoing.
That's 3. And then at this point, if Muncha hits Shovel Knight, he shouldn't phase lock it anymore because he got him below 4 full hearts.
Yeah. Yeah, the 2 conditions, or the second condition for Shovel Knight not using his phase locket is if he's under 4 health. So, we have David here entering the last stage, and Muncha's gonna be, let's say, about 20 seconds behind, which isn't too bad, actually. If we see David die in this room, maybe, or die on Enchantress, which is pretty common, you might see Muncha actually catch up.
David did get through the last block without taking damage, which is a little precise. But yeah, Enchantress, actually all... God, why does Plague have such a terrible in-game? Enchantress, Plague of Shadows, and Corrupted Distance can all go wrong.
Yep. Alright, let's see what kind of quick kill David goes for on Enchantress here. Looks like he's doing... Oh, he's doing the fast stuff. Alright. Oh, he gets a lot of bad dives actually. Let's see if he goes under right now. He might take a damage boost from a projectile. He's not gonna do that actually. That
He
means
just tried to
this...
clear as much of the floor as he could.
Yeah, this unfortunately means that his quick kill, well, his kill isn't going to be very quick. He's actually gonna lose a lot of time.
Yeah, and like honestly, the worst part about having to fight. Ooh, actually got a bunch of hits right there. Wow, shut my mouth. It's really hard to actually stay on top of Enchantress after dives. If Muncha can kill her under the floor, he really will catch up quite a lot.
Oh no.
Come on, please. More hits. Please.
Yeah, he can do this. Yeah, that's
Ooh,
cool.
man, that was scary.
Muncha actually saved quite a bit of time with that quick kill, so if David gets like a bad Shadow Plague here, which is definitely a possibility, he might actually go edge himself in first place. Although David gets a pretty decent start there.
Yeah, this the Plague of Shadows actually
man.
behaves exactly like the normal boss. Wow, this is looking good. The normal boss fight.
Oh, staff him. Oh, that was pretty
stuff.
good.
Alright, Muncha has to match that or beat it. That was a pretty good start.
It was a pretty good start, yeah, but his second set of hops were not so good. Oh man. Yeah, unfortunately, he's gonna get a bad pattern afterwards.
Oh man, and he got an extra teleport.
There you go. Oh, it looks like David actually messed up on Corrupted Essence there.
He can still 2-cycle it. It's a little bit slow for a 2-cycle.
There you go.
That beats my PB.
So David is the winner. Muncha's not too far behind. Oh, he actually got a couple hits in there when he didn't actually expose him, which is going to help him in 2-cycling him quite a bit. Oh no, he could have used the staff. There you go.
Okay. That's still a good PB for him.
Oh, did he actually PB?
Yeah.
Well, damn. Yo, grats, Muncha. Yeah, that was a pretty good run, actually. I don't think Muncha died in his run.
Yeah, Muncha was deathless.
That's pretty good. Hi.
Hi, I'm David.
Oh god.
David.
The David.
Yo, hey, Muncha.
Hi.
It's your boy.
That's a pretty good run from you, Muncha.
That was awful.
Oh man, come
Again, I
on
don't
now.
know the actual strats.
I mean,
You did PB at least.
Seemed to kind of know what you were doing.
Anyway, good stuff.
Yeah, that was a fun race.
Yeah, I had fun.
That's
And in the
definitely
end-
the fun of a video game.
Yes.
Like the troll final boss,
Oh god.
Oh my
or
god.
how Spooky Skeleton was having none of it today in Plains after the Bubble Dragon.
The what?
The skeleton after. Never mind.
Oh yeah, you absolutely got completely bodied at the beginning of the run. There was a... I guess there was only... If you... It was like that and your Shovel Knight fight. You might have beaten him if it weren't for those.
David, you should press start. Dude, you're killing me. I hate it when people just hang at the last cutscene like this, and they
Except for
don't.
the Japanese.
No, I don't want
That
to.
increases in-game time, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh no.
Wait. Well, the timer ends when the final boss dies, so maybe not.
Okay.
Um,
David, just press start, please.
Anyway,
going to die.
where does this leave our bracket? Who is next in the races?
That would be David versus Brett Pan Pan.
Neat.
And that's, I think, happening on Friday?
Yeah, I reached out to Bread Pan already. So Friday night, unless something happens.
In our efforts to expedite the tournament, we were asking the runners to just kind of think ahead. And it's not like we were saying Muncha was out of it for sure.
Collusion.
Yeah, I want to
Can't
redo.
believe it.
To your
This
credit,
race
you
was
didn't
rigged.
die. David did die.
That just makes me feel worse.
Well, you know.
You made me proud, fam. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine.
I still had fun. And that's what counts. Anyway,
That was a good race.
thank you. Thank you for the race, David.
Red.
And thank you for joining the tournament, Muncha. I know that you've been pretty busy, pretty tight on free time.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
I don't see anything else on speed gaming for now, but tomorrow morning you can wake up bright and early for some Mario Sunshine and Rockman 2. And yeah, the next Plague Knight match in the tournament is to be determined, but basically on Friday. So stay tuned for more information about that. And thank you once again, Speed Gaming, for having us.
Yeah. What he said. But yeah, I guess that's gonna do it for us.
Good night.
This has been your boy Tolu on the microphone, along with Mumu Akai.
My friends call me Mumu.
Oh, okay. And also David. He is here.
Hello, I am David.
Okay, goodbye.
Yeah, good night.
I am David.